This is my 2006 Harley-Davidson Sportster, and I've dumped way too many hours into fabricating parts and making it look more unique. But there's one thing I've completely ignored. It's the rear shocks. And honestly, these things are absolutely cooked. So today I'm going to be taking off these crusty rusted shocks and slapping on a set of brand new progressive 412 series shocks, then taking it out for a ride and seeing how much better it actually feels and performs. So let's jump into it. Welcome back to the Whisky Throttle Club. So before I jack it up, I'm actually just going to crack both these ends of the shocks, and then I'll lift it up so the weight is then taken off the rear wheel and obviously taken off the shocks. So for this, I'm using a T50, and I'm just going to crack them quickly. Like that. Now I've cracked them, I'm going to jack the back up just a little bit. I'm not going to jack it up so that all the weight's off, but just enough so that when I undo these bolts and take the shock off, that wheel isn't going to drop all the way down. So I do have it in neutral, and there we go. So I've just jacked it up so I can just spin the wheel. Now we can keep going, taking these off. Now the reason I've gone with the progressive 412 series is they're not your cheapest of cheap, but they're not the most expensive shocks out there either. They're going to be perfect for, you know, this bike. I don't want to go out and spend thousands of dollars on shocks. And these cost me about 670 Australian dollars, so they weren't too bad. Now I'm going to be reusing this hardware, most of this hardware. Now another reason I've gone the progressive is they are steel bodied and nitrogen charged, which basically means they're going to handle bumps a lot better, especially better than these current ones I've got on. Now this side here isn't actually too bad. It's not rusted, but the other side is an absolute mess. Now the new shocks I've got are 11 inches, and this current set that I'm taking off are about 12.5. Now the reason I went a bit smaller is because I'm not the tallest of blokes. I'm about 177 centimeters, or I think it's 5'8", 5'9", maybe. So it's also going to help me when I'm pulling up to a stop with putting both feet on the ground. Now obviously a seat can change that as well, but that might be a job for later down the track. I've gone to the standard spring rate, which is rated for about 110 kilo. Now, as I'm not really going to be having the misses on the back, I didn't need to go anything a bit more. I mean, I'm, 80 kilos, and I don't ever think I'm going to have more than 20 kilos worth of luggage or anything on the back if I ever do a big trip, so I just went the standard. There we go. Now the instructions are very limited on which way everything goes, but Progressive have popped in this little bit of information here. So down the very bottom it says you place the shrouded sleeve with the shoulder in towards the motorbike. So essentially what that means is you're going to use a bolt, you're going to put a washer on your bolt, and then you've got your shrouded sleeve, at least for the 91 model and up, your shrouded sleeve, which goes in behind. Then you put your bolt through, so your washer is touching the bushing, and then I have a spacer. And then you do the same for the bottom, bolt, washer, shroud from behind, pop that through, and then spacer as well. Now you can see these are quite a bit shorter. So essentially what you do to get this to line up is just drop your bike back down. Now, obviously you need to be careful of clearance whenever you're changing your shocks. Oh man, you want to make sure that you do have enough clearance. Now these do take a couple of 100 Ks to seat in, which basically means just wear them in to where they're going to feel good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tighten them, and then both sides, and then I'll torque it down, and pretty sure I'll use a bit of Loctite as well. So that's one side done. Pretty quick and painless. We'll jump over the other side. And I'm going to give these a couple of ugga-duggers. Now, before I torque everything up and finish it off, I'm just going to drop it back down and just check the clearance under the fender, which that should be okay. Now obviously if you've got an aftermarket fender you're probably going to have issues, but just gonna stick my hand up under there. I've got heaps, I've probably got like 60 mil. So let's sit on it and see. Whew. Now that I've done that, I've checked the clearance. I'm actually going to, sounds silly, but I'm going to take these bolts out again and put some blue Loctite on them and then torque them down. Now obviously every bike's probably going to be different with their torque specs, so just Google and figure out which one's best for your bike. All right, now that I've got the bike sitting on its own weight, I'm going to torque everything down, and so I need roughly 47 to 54 foot-pound or 64 to 73 Newton meters. So I'm going to run about 72 Newton meters on the torque wrench just to make sure that it's good. Now, once you've done that, you're going to want to take it for a ride to make sure everything's seated properly. And then when you get back, you need to recheck the torque specs as well to make sure that they haven't rattled loose or whatever. So I'm going to clean up and get my gear on and we'll go for a spin. All right, so far so good. Now pulling up to the lights here, I can comfortably place my feet flat on the ground. If anything, I can probably go a little bit higher on these shocks. They are on the lower setting, and I have noticed a fair bit of scraping already, so if I just play around with the adjustment a bit, that'll fix that issue, hopefully. But so far so good. Now, like I mentioned before, they do take a couple of 100 Ks to seat in, and sort of, not that they're going to soften up, but sort of, for lack of a better term, soften up just that little bit. Now they obviously feel heaps different compared to the old ones that I've just taken off, because they were pretty well dead and cooked. So these are straight out of the box. These are bloody good. Now a couple of the bumps I've hit are quite rougher, but that's expected, especially the old shocks being a bit worn out, pretty well screwed. The new shocks are going to feel, yeah, that little bit stiffer until they're worn in, but yeah. So I think when I get home, I'm going to just play around, raise them up a bit, and then yeah, I'm going to have to build a new kickstand for the bike as well, because now the bike's sitting on too straight of an angle,
which, I don't know, I'm a bit sketchy about it sitting too straight. You know, you don't want a strong breeze bloody knocking your bike over and you come out and the bike's on its side. So that's one thing I'll have to do. So keep an eye out. I've already made an extended kickstand, but I might make one out of stainless kickstand, make it look a bit nicer, get a little bit fancy with it, who knows. But if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. It helps me out heaps to let me know that you guys are enjoying the content that I'm putting out. And hit that subscribe if you're enjoying these videos, so you can keep up to date when I drop new videos and post more content. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.